In February 2019, police in a small town in Oregon received a distressing call. A man claimed to have found the body of a young woman with a gunshot wound in his home. Detectives who arrived at the scene identified the victim as 28-year-old Olivia Thompson, a local schoolteacher. Olivia's death shocked the quiet town and sparked an investigation that uncovered a dark story of love, betrayal, and revenge. Olivia Thompson and Jason Porter seemed like the perfect couple. They met during their final year of college, and their relationship quickly blossomed into a serious romance. After graduation, Olivia and Jason stayed in their hometown and began building a life together. However, in 2016, after 3 years of dating, Olivia discovered that Jason had been cheating on her with a coworker. The betrayal from someone she loved hit her hard. She ended the relationship, but the pain and resentment lingered for a long time. The situation worsened when Jason's best friend, Ethan Wright, sided with him in the conflict. Ethan and Jason had been friends since childhood and always stood by each other. Despite knowing about Jason's infidelity, Ethan continued to act as if nothing had happened. Moreover, Ethan openly blamed Olivia, accusing her of not trying hard enough to save the relationship. His bias and disregard deeply hurt Olivia. A year after the painful breakup, Olivia still couldn't shake the anger and bitterness toward her ex-boyfriend and his friend. She felt humiliated by their behavior and craved revenge, wanting them to feel the same pain she had endured. Soon, a bold plan formed in her mind. She would make Ethan fall in love with her, marry him, and then break his heart, leaving him just as Jason had left her. Olivia began to subtly execute her plan for revenge. She knew that a direct approach might raise Ethan's suspicions, so she acted cautiously and gradually. Olivia started frequenting the cafe Ethan liked to visit in the mornings. She would accidentally run into him and strike up small, meaningless conversations. At first, Ethan didn't seem to notice, but eventually he began to show interest. Olivia skillfully stoked his curiosity while remaining mysterious and somewhat distant. After a few months of these coincidental meetings, Ethan made his move and asked Olivia out on a date. Olivia, feigning reluctance, agreed, expertly playing the role of an unattainable beauty. Their romance developed quickly. Ethan was captivated by Olivia's confidence and independence, and soon he was head over heels in love. Olivia, on the other hand, felt a malicious sense of triumph every time Ethan expressed his feelings or talked about their future together. She imagined the devastation he would feel when she shattered his illusion of happiness with a single blow. 6 months into their relationship, Ethan proposed to Olivia. She accepted, savoring the taste of imminent victory. The wedding was set for September 2018. Olivia chose a secluded estate outside the town for the ceremony, not wanting to draw unnecessary attention to her plan. Just weeks remained before she could carry out her long-awaited revenge. Finally, the big day arrived. Olivia and Ethan were officially husband and wife. Olivia could barely contain her excitement as she accepted congratulations from the guests. She anticipated the moment when she would reveal to her new husband the real reason for their marriage and relish his confusion and pain. However, Olivia had no idea that soon her own life would be in danger, and in the face of deadly peril, her thirst for revenge would take a back seat. As Ethan's lawful wife, Olivia began spending more time at his house. She planned to stage the final scene of her revenge soon and leave, shattering Ethan's heart. But unexpectedly, Olivia discovered that her new husband had secrets he had been carefully hiding. At first, they were small things. Strange phone calls in the middle of the night, sudden business trips Ethan refused to explain. But soon, Olivia's suspicions deepened. She noticed that there was a safe in Ethan's office, one to which she had no access. One day, she accidentally walked in on Ethan handing something through the window to an unfamiliar man, and Ethan looked visibly uncomfortable when he saw her. Determined to uncover Ethan's secrets, Olivia decided to investigate. One day, while Ethan was away on business, she snuck into his office and managed to break into the safe. What she found inside left her in shock. The safe contained weapons, several pistols, silencers, and even a handheld grenade launcher. In addition to the weapons, There were bundles of cash and documents under the name of someone called Alex Wolf. All doubts about Ethan's criminal activities vanished when Olivia overheard one of his conversations. Ethan was angrily arguing with someone on the phone, mentioning merchandise, shipments, and clients. After the argument, he tossed his phone onto the table, accidentally triggering the voicemail. The automatically played message removed any lingering doubts. Alex, the shipment will arrive at the port Wednesday evening. New model firearms. Everything as agreed. The horrifying truth dawned on Olivia. The man she had married to get revenge on her ex turned out to be an arms dealer. What she thought was deceit on his part turned out to be far more dangerous. Olivia now faced a moral dilemma. Should she leave now, while she still could, and follow through with her original plan, or try to learn more and expose her husband's criminal business, risking the wrath of dangerous criminals? What should she do when the price might be her own safety, or even her life? After agonizing over her decision, Olivia decided she couldn't leave without uncovering the full truth about her husband. Against all reason, she felt drawn to this criminal underworld she had never known. Olivia told herself that she was doing it to seek justice and help the authorities. But deep down, she knew it was her insatiable curiosity and thirst for excitement that drove her forward. Using the information she had found in Ethan's safe, Olivia began her own investigation. She discovered that her husband had been living a double life for many years. To everyone around him, he was a respectable businessman, the heir to a large company. But in reality, most of his income came from illegal arms trading. Ethan led a criminal organization that supplied weapons not just in their state, but across the country. Time and again, Olivia secretly followed Ethan, documenting his illegal activities. She photographed his meetings with shady individuals, recorded phone conversations, studied financial records from shell companies, and gathered any pieces of information she could about her husband's criminal enterprise. Olivia knew she was playing with fire, but by then, she couldn't stop. One day, while tailing Ethan, Olivia unwittingly became a witness to a confrontation between members of his gang. Hiding behind stacks of crates in an abandoned warehouse, she overheard them talking about a rat, leaking information to the cops. Suddenly, the men began looking around suspiciously, and Olivia realized she had been spotted. Desperately scanning her surroundings, she noticed the only way out, a dirty window high up near the ceiling. By some miracle, Olivia managed to climb up and slip out unnoticed. But from that moment on, she fully understood her life was in danger. As Olivia delved deeper into Ethan's secret life, the tension mounted. She knew she was walking on thin ice, and at any moment, she could become a threat to her husband's criminal empire and his associates. Her only safeguard was the evidence she had collected, copies of which she kept in a secure location outside the house. The confrontation came unexpectedly. One evening, Olivia returned home to find Ethan in an agitated state. From fragmented phrases, she gathered that the police had caught wind of his organization and were preparing for a major operation. Ethan was frantically packing, clearly preparing to flee. But before Olivia could act, he turned and fixed her with a piercing gaze. A gun gleamed in his hand. "You thought I didn't know about your little investigation? That you've been spying on me?" Ethan snarled, pointing the gun directly at her. Olivia froze. He had known all along about her game and had only been biding his time. And now, with the heat closing in, she had become a liability that needed to be eliminated. Olivia tried to reason with him, to appeal to his better judgment, but Ethan seemed deaf to her words. His eyes were wild, the eyes of a man cornered. "Sorry, darling, but I can't leave any witnesses," he said as he cocked the gun. Olivia squeezed her eyes shut, bracing for the end. The gunshot rang out, but instead of searing pain, she felt herself being pushed aside. Opening her eyes, Olivia saw Jason's lifeless body, her ex-boyfriend, on the floor. Beside him stood Ethan, clutching the bloody gun. The following events blurred into a nightmarish whirlwind for Olivia. Police arrival, Ethan's arrest, endless questioning at the station. Still in a daze, Olivia learned the shocking truth. Jason, who had once betrayed her, had actually been working undercover, infiltrating Ethan's criminal organization. All along, he had been trying to protect Olivia, the woman he still loved, from the ruthless criminal she had unknowingly married. Jason had tracked Olivia to the house that fateful night, fearing that Ethan had uncovered her double-cross. Rushing in at the last moment, Jason had shielded Olivia from the fatal shot, sacrificing his life to save hers. The realization hit her like an avalanche, burying whatever was left of her former world. 2 years after the events, Olivia was still trying to piece her shattered life back together. Ethan had been convicted and was serving a lengthy prison sentence. His criminal network had been fully exposed and dismantled. But at what cost? Olivia didn't know if she would ever recover from what had happened. After all, the entire tragedy had unfolded because of her obsession with revenge. In her desire to get back at her ex-boyfriend, she had trapped herself and doomed the only person who had truly loved her. Her only solace was that her investigation had helped prevent many more crimes. Anonymously handing over all the evidence she had gathered to the police, Olivia had essentially brought Ethan's criminal syndicate to justice. But the guilt over Jason's death never left her, not for a single moment. Olivia blamed herself for everything, for her thirst for revenge. Blinded by hurt, she had brought destruction and death into her own life. Now, she had to live with the weight of that burden, haunted daily by the fact that Jason's true love had cost him his life, and her, a broken future. Olivia's story is a warning to all who are consumed by the desire for revenge. Because in the end, you may lose far more than you ever bargained for. In the pursuit of fleeting triumph over an enemy, you can lose what is most precious and even lose yourself. Olivia learned this lesson at the cost of irreparable losses. The only hope was that her tragedy would serve as a cautionary tale for others, a reminder of the destructive power of revenge.